Can I start talking? Right, so now we are in open rehearsals. Hello everyone, jó napot mindenkinek. I'm going to introduce the cast. My name is Adina. I am the artistic director of Concentric Circles and the director of this production, Illusions. And I'm going to ask my wonderful actors to introduce themselves. Who starts? Eva Magyar?
Hi, my name is Eva Magyar. I'm an actor, director, and I live in London, but I'm Hungarian. And yeah, it's just very exciting to work on this project. I've never done anything like this. Possibly nobody else did anything like this. Yeah, it's just extraordinary. And we still have 2 more weeks before we finish. So we are very much in the middle of creating something beautiful, I believe.
And here is a little gossip. Eva, as you can see, she's got a dress on her and she's in Budapest where it's very hot, unlike in England where I'm wearing this. And also it is Eva's birthday today. Happy birthday, Eva.
Happy
birthday.
All right, Mohadi.
Oh, wow. That happened very quickly. Hi, I'm Mohadi Masugu. I'm also in England, but I'm pretending it's warmer than it actually is. I'm fully in a t-shirt and shorts because it will be summer. And I'm from Southern Africa, so grew up in Zimbabwe, from Swaziland and South Africa. I'm an actor and a writer, maybe, and working on stuff. And maybe one day a director if Adina keeps training me. Yeah, we are. I've never done this before, and I think it's the best play to do it with because it's just fun and serious at the same time. So hopefully you enjoy the ride with us. Plus I get to meet really wonderful women and it's so cool.
Lorna?
Hi, I'm Lorna. I'm also in England in cloudy Norwich. I am a training director at the moment. I'm with the UEA doing my master's in stage direction. And I'm the assistant director, learning under the wonderful Adina. And yeah, never done anything like this before. It's very weird and very wonderful. And yeah, just so happy to have met this incredible cast.
Bandor?
Oh. Hello, everybody. My name is Eva Bandor. I am an actress in Slovakia. I live in Slovakia. And this work is for me very hard and very interesting. My English is so bad.
Good.
So, what?
Good.
And this is all.
Mariah, you're next to Eva.
Hi, I'm Mariah. Everyone calls me Mariah. Yeah, I'm an actor in this piece, kind of echoing everything that everyone else has said, really. It's a kind of really fascinating way of creating work in a time like this. We all have kind of concepts and ideas as to how it might work, and you start to think, oh, it might be quite difficult. How does it work? But it's incredible that when we come together, the language that we're able to have, you just slip into it, and it kind of is like a rehearsal room, and it is a rehearsal room, even though it's virtual. So it's a new way of making work. I think it's important to kind of explore these kinds of ways of making work. And in particular, like one of the other actors has said, this particular piece, I think, really lends itself to being created in this way because of the intimacy of the camera and the way that we interact with each other, and how the piece speaks about love in terms through the prism of age and gender and time. It's beautiful to kind of share that with these incredible women that I am really lucky to be a part of, with Captain Adina at the head of the ship. So hopefully you'll get to see something quite special and unusual and different that you probably haven't seen before. So yeah, enjoy.
Thank you. Aniko?
Hello, my name is Aniko. I'm from Slovakia, but in this time I'm in Hungary. And nice to meet you. And I love this girl, my actress colleagues.
Oh, love you
and,
too.
and I very, very happy.
Oh,
Thank you, Claudia.
I am Claudia and I am the composer here. And I just remembered the long conversations we had about this play last summer with Adina, and it's so amazing that it can happen now. So I'm happy to be part of this beautiful project.
Yeah, that is amazing. So last.
I am actress. Sorry, I'm actress.
I'm too.
Yeah, so it is amazing because with Claudia, we was talking about this play last summer, and the idea was to have it as a full production. And then in January, I applied for a grant to the Arts Council. And then in March, by the time I was going to find out or not whether this is going to happen, the coronavirus crisis kicked in. So everything was cancelled. And then I had the chance to apply for the emergency fund, and amazingly, and thank you Arts Council, we got the grant, so here we are. But then I had to reimagine the whole production as a digital production, and I've never done this before, and I was really scared and excited. I don't think I would have been able to do this with any other group than these ladies here, because we're catching each other when it gets a little bit complicated. And the first 2 weeks were chaotic, weren't they? Kaotikus volt az első 2 hét, ugye?
Yeah.
Because the text is written by Ivan Viripayev, who's a contemporary playwright, Russian playwright, and he wrote the play for 4 actors, 2 male actors and 2 female actors. And the idea was to do it with an all-female cast display. But that meant that we got the permission from Ivan Viripayev to do it in a different way. And then we have this chorus of actresses that, doing the play. But so it all started with redividing the lines. And it took us 2 weeks to kind of figure out who's doing what. And then on top of that, we had to deal with Zoom, because I think really we're not making a full production, we're making like a film. And I've never done one before, but the camera, it's a very simple camera, is the one I have here in front of me. And can we make magic with this little camera that we have here in front of us? So that was the question. Anyway, so the play is about 2 married couples and their very complicated relationships. And we never see the characters. The way it is written is you don't see the characters. So the actors are not embodying in a classical way the characters, but they are narrators. And as narrators, sometimes they get closer to the character, but sometimes they are quite far away from the character. And we were rehearsing before we went live. We were doing the end of scene 1, where Aniko is presenting Denny's story, who's one of the 4 people in the play, 4 characters in the play. So we're gonna take it from there to see he's on his deathbed, he's saying goodbye from his wife. So we're gonna take it from there. So right, in this one we have, so Claudia goodbye, Lorna goodbye, Mohadi. So we have, yeah, there you go. Bye Eva, menjél ki. Kapcsolt ki a kamerádat. So here we are. Right, so we take it from Love is a Great Power. I'm going to stop my video as well. There we go.
Love is a great power.
A szerelem legyőzi a halált. Nem félek meghalni. I love you.
And he dies. Pause. And Sandra sits close by and looks at her husband. And now he's gone. And she stands and leaves the room. And after the death of her husband, Sandra lived only 1 more year and then became ill, lay down in bed, and also felt one day that she was about to die. So then she asked her husband's friends to come visit her.
Okay,
His name.
hold on, sorry darling. So we're gonna do that again. Anikó, gyere vissza. Szóval ott van, hogy a love is great power, a szerelem legyőzi a halált, én nem félek meghalni. I love you. És akkor úgy maradsz, mint hogyha benne vagy a szerepben, és csak akkor, amikor az Éva mondja, hogy és akkor meghal. És akkor arra van, hogy így meghajolsz, ahogy csináltad, és kimegy. Mariah,
Yeah.
so up till now, you're in that position when you're listening to all this, so you are profile.
This way?
Yeah, let's try it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when Eve is saying, and after the death of her husband, Sandra lived only 1 more year, it's then when you turn towards us.
Okay, so what about the whole and he dies, pause, and then the exhale? You don't want that in anymore?
Sorry, which one was that bit?
So when Eva at the end of 1 says, and he dies, pause, and then I meant to sort of, I was originally here, and then I go, like I exhale, like, wow, he's gone. Do you remember that was in my note?
Yeah. I do remember.
Do you want me to not do that and just be in profile, or?
Is there a reason that it can't be done in profile?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do it in profile.
Let's try that.
Okay, and then you want me to turn when
Eva says, and after the death of her husband,
Okay.
Sandra lived 1 more year.
So slowly revolve back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adina, do I start from here too, before I start to speak?
No, you're talking to your audience. You say, well, this is what happened. Okay. Shall we go from that point? I'm gonna stop my video now.
Love is a great power. A szerelem legyőzi a halált. Nem félek meghalni. I love you.
And he dies. Pause. And Sandra sits close by and looks at her husband.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, and he dies.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay.
You forgot to die.
Repeat it, please.
Okay. Let's do that.
Love is a great power. A szerelem legyőzi a halált. Nem félek meghalni. I love you.
And he dies. Pause. And Sandra sits close by and looks at her husband. And now he's gone. And she stands and leaves the room. And after the death of her husband, Sandra lived only 1 more year and then became ill, lay down in bed, and also felt one day that she was about to die. So then she asked her husband's friends to come and visit her.
His name was Albert. Albert and Denny were best friends. They had been friends since school days. They were inseparable from their youth. Albert was best man at Denny and Sandra's wedding.
And when Albert entered the room, Sandra sensed more strongly than she'd felt the whole previous year that Denny was gone. She said, "Sit down, Albert. I want to tell you a few words before I die today, and I'm going to die today. I know this, and thank goodness it's so." Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be silent. It was very important for her to say all this. We've known each other, Albert, for over 50 years already, isn't that right?
Right, can we stop a little bit? So there are two ways to do this, I think. Is that if we, Oniko, can you stop your video, darling? Thank you. Okay, so it's either you deliver the lines of Sandra here like the narrator, and she said that, well, you know, kind of so it's the narrator.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Voice, right? And you don't go into it.
Right.
So I'll try it that way.
Okay.
Or the other possibility that I can see is that you get closer to the character, you start embodying Sandra, but in that case, can Mohadi, can you say, Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be silent?
Oh, yep. Yep, I got it.
And then, Eva, can we think here of a way of, you know, it's the same when Mariah wants to talk and then you do your gesture. So we have another way of silencing him.
Where?
It is when she's, Mariah says, I'm going to die today, I know this, and thank goodness it's so. And then Mohadi is going to say, Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be silent.
Okay, after silent.
And then, shall we try that? Yeah, let's try it this way, that Mohadi takes that line, which means, Mariah, that you remained in the character.
Yeah.
For that period.
Yeah.
And then Mohadi, for you,
I'm the narrator, right? I'm not Albert. I'm not Albert. I'm speaking as the narrator when I say that line, right?
Yeah, you're the narrator there.
Excellent.
And so where do you want me to pick back up from? Because it was very important for her to say this. Is still a narrator line? Isn't it?
I think that Mohadi can say that as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Then you go from the quote, "We've known each other, Albert," for that makes sense. Yeah,
it does make sense.
That's good. Okay.
Fantastic. Should we go from the top? Do you want us to go from the top when Albert comes in, or do you want us to go from Sandra?
Let's go from the top.
Yes, and Albert shall be better this time.
Just quickly, we're going from the top. Mariah, when you're in profile, that breath, I think you need to kind of forget your actual training and breathe from your chest, not your tummy, so we can actually see shoulders, your chest smooth.
Yeah. Get all that beautiful, expensive,
yeah,
debt-ridden training. Yeah, okay.
All right, bye, darlings. I'm off.
Okay.
So
where are we starting from? Sorry, we're starting from the top.
Right from the top. His name was Albert, so Mohadi comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Mohadi, do you want a cue? Do you want
Eva, if you don't mind, birthday girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eva, then let's go from, and after the death of her husband, Sandra lived one more year.
Okay.
So you need to turn, my darling, I think.
Yeah, I'm just getting the text the right place.
And after the death of her husband, Sandra lived only one more year and then became ill, lay down in bed, and also felt one day that she was about to die. And then she asked her husband's friend to come visit her.
His name was Albert. Albert and Denny were best friends. They had been friends all their lives. They had been friends since school days. They were inseparable all their lives. Albert was best man at Denny and Sandra's wedding.
And when Albert entered the room, Sandra sensed more strongly than she'd felt the whole previous year that Denny was gone. She said, "Sit down, Albert. I want to tell you a few words before I die today, and I'm going to die today. I know this. And thank goodness it's so.
Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be silent. It was very important for her to say all of this.
We've known each other, Albert.
Sorry. Let's synchronize this. So
Yeah, sorry.
If you keep, that's all right. Don't say sorry. So if you keep a little pause, Albert wanted to answer.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Eva?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, but Sandra, so it's a pause, but Sandra asked him to be silent. That's when you do your gesture, Eva.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just let's do that, very technical, just to set up the...
Okay, do you want me to...
Yeah, can we go from "and thank goodness it's so"?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And thank goodness it's so.
Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be silent. It was very important for her to say all of this.
We've known each other, Albert, for over 50 years already, isn't that right? You're my husband's friend. You were the best man at our wedding, and, you know, I want to tell you that the very first day I saw you was the day I met Denny. I came to meet Denny, and there you were. And you see, from that very moment and to this very day, all these years, these 53 years and 4 months, all this time, I have loved only you, Albert. As soon as I saw you then next to Denny, I knew right away that he was the man I was going to love forever. But you were married, and I saw that you loved your wife, and so I married Denny and lived with him all these years. And you were always close by, and always, every second of my life, I loved you and love you now. And only here, as I die, I wish to tell you about this. But that's not all, Albert.
Okay, let's start from the same place. So and when Albert changes. So
yeah,
Mariah, when you say and when Albert entered the room, Sandra sensed more strongly that she had felt that whole previous year that Danny was gone. She said, so you need to serve that a little bit when you start. You can even take a pause or
Okay.
or settle it a little bit.
I also think that her sensing that Denny is gone quite strongly is quite a freeing thing for her.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the narrator there, and you can hint a little bit at it, but
so because here this is about the complexity of guilt, right? It's this whole idea of she starts it with this in this place of feeling guilty for these feelings to then moving towards a more liberated kind of passionate thing later on.
Well, it is that complex thing that we were talking about. So on one hand, she knows that she's going to break a rule here by saying all this to her. So she doesn't want to, but on the other hand, she wants to tell him that she loved him all his life. So when Sandra starts talking, it's gonna be like, oh, and a little bit of excitement. How am I gonna say all this to him now? Where shall I start? So, and when we've known each other, Albert, for 50 years, so this is all kind of a introductory preparation, because you don't quite know how to say it, so you need to embed it in something.
Yeah, because the way I've been thinking about it is what we discussed, which was that the sort of timidity and like, I don't know how to tell you this because this is kind of like the confessional to a priest or whatever.
Yeah. But you don't start, you bang in, Albert, I loved you all my life. You need to kind of embed it.
Right.
And it's a big thing for her as well.
Yeah.
So take your time.
Okay.
It's almost if you want to tell me a big secret. You see what I mean? How do I start telling you?
So it's quite fraught.
Mm.
Wait there.
Let's see that way, okay? But also it's kind of the first two sentences of the narrator. She said.
Leave a beat.
She said, and then you can start building it up.
So gradually. Yeah.
Sit down, Albert.
Mm.
I don't know how to tell you all this, but it's kind of and then Mohadi cuts in, and then you continue from where you left it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see that bit.
From
Albert was best man at Denny and Sandra's wedding, so Mohadi is giving you the.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Albert was best man at Denny and Sandra's wedding.
And when Albert entered the room, Sandra sensed more strongly than she'd felt the whole previous year that Denny was gone. She said, "Sit down, Albert. I want to tell you a few words before I die today."
Lovely.
And I'm going to die today. I know this. And thank goodness it's so.
Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be quiet. It was very important for her to say all of this.
We've known each other, Albert, for over 50 years already, isn't that right? You're my husband's friend. You're the best man at our wedding. And you know, I want to tell you that the very day I first saw you was the day I met Denny. I came to meet Denny, and there you were. And you see, from that very minute and to this very day, all these years, these 53 years and 4 months, all this time, I have loved only you, Albert. As soon as I saw you there next to Denny, I knew right away that he was the man I was going to love forever. But you were married. I saw that you loved your wife. And so I married Denny and lived with him all these years. And you were always close by, and always, every second of my life, I loved you and love you now. And only here, as I die, I wish to tell you about this.
Okay.
But that's not all, Albert.
Sorry to stop you. That was lovely.
Okay, so more like that. Okay.
Yeah, more like that. But can we have a little bit of change in it? So when you have, it was very important for her to say all this. You are my husband, and so and you know, I want to tell you that the first day. So it's almost. I want to tell you. The very first day, so it's a change in the rhythm there. It's almost like you want to say it, but you can't. So you're gonna say that. So you give other informations there. I saw that there, and then I came to meet Danny, and there you were.
Yeah.
And despite, sorry, darling, I'm just gonna listen in a minute. And despite the fact that you tell him not to talk, you want Albert to
respond
a little bit. So, and right away. So when you say, I knew right away that here was the man I was going to love forever. It's almost a little bit of reaction, but you don't. So you then immediately say, yeah, but you were married, of course. So
yeah.
Almost like him excuse why not to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. one more time from the same place, and then we're gonna move on.
Okay. The cigarette smoke. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
what
have.
did you want to say?
Yeah, that cigarette is in the right place, right?
Absolutely so.
When you stop smoking.
I would have said otherwise, yeah, but that's great.
Okay. Fantastic. Poor man.
Yeah. All right, I'm off.
Albert was best man at Denny and Sandra's wedding.
And when Albert entered the room, Sandra sensed more strongly than she'd felt the whole previous year that Denny was gone. She said, "Sit down, Albert. I want to tell you a few words before I die today, and I'm going to die today. I know this. And thank goodness it's so."
Albert wanted to answer, but Sandra asked him to be quiet. It was very important for him to say all of this.
We've known each other, Albert, for over 50 years already, isn't that right? You're my husband's friend. You were the best man at our wedding. And you know, I want to tell you that the very first day I first saw you was the day I met Denny. I came to meet Denny, and there you were. And you see, from that very minute into this very day, all these years, these 53 years and 4 months, all this time I have loved only you. Albert, as soon as I saw you then next to Denny, I knew right away that he was the man I was going to love forever. But you were married. And I saw that you loved your wife. And so I married Denny and lived with him all these years. And you were always close by, and always, every second of my life, I loved you and I love you now. And only here as I die, I wish to tell you about this.
Great. Okay, before we move on to the next part of the monologue, we're just gonna say goodbye to our audiences. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining.
So I hope you enjoyed this. We're gonna have more of these open rehearsals. Follow us on our social media. Look us up on our website, and you'll find all the information there. All right, thank you for coming. Bye.
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 Bye.